I'm calling this module the additional information module because all of these are very, very similar, if not practically the same, but they're structurally in their own sections. So here we've got education, which is obviously important. A lot of jobs have very specific education requirements. If you want to add education, you can. You can add an entire new institution or school and add in your information. To edit, you want to hover over and click the pencil, and that's going to allow you to change the location, the degree, the field of study, start date, end date, if you want to include those. And then here you can put in additional text. If you want to put your focus or what you did while you were at that place, you can do that at that place, at that at that schooling or that time in your career. And we'll go ahead and cancel that. If you wanted to rearrange them in different ways, you can uncheck this, and then you can rearrange them. And let's go ahead and use the target to get to that part on our resume. And that's going to allow you to rearrange them and drag them in that way. If you want to edit the institution, you see the little pencil at the institution name, and you can edit that as well. And that's how you modify that. If you wanted to add another degree at that institution, you can. Let's go ahead and just call that degree 2 and save it. And we'll go to it. And so now you can see you've got another degree at the same institution. Much like the work experience, you can reshape how that shows up. Something that's oftentimes people think about is dates on degrees. So let's go ahead and add an end date to that and go ahead and save it. Let's go to it. And so here we are with dates on that degree, and you may not want to show the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our design mode, and we can change our date format. If you wanted to show years only, you could do that. That's going to come down here and change those to years only. Otherwise, it uses months by default. Then your date alignment, it's going to inherit that. And then over on our settings, if we want our education grouped by institution, there's degree, you can do that as well. So that's how you manipulate how it shows up on the page. But then over here in the preview tab is how you manage the data and the content itself. So that's the education section. Again, recommended you do reverse chronological, but entirely up to you if you want to disable that. Certifications, just click add certification. It's the certification itself, the provider, start date, end date. They're super simple, and that's how they show up on the resume. Awards and scholarships. You have the title of the scholarship, the organization that provided the scholarship, and the date that you received it. Projects are a great way to highlight some more specificity in your experience. So the project name, organization, essentially who the client was or where you did it, start date, end date, and then any kind of text you want to put in here. You can put bullets, you can bold it, you can put links, and that's how you manage projects. Volunteering and leadership. I have one already. Let's go ahead and add one so you can see the organization, your involvement, what it was. So say this was a sorority or fraternity, what your position was, the location, you can do city and state, start date, end date of your time there, and then any additional text that you'd want to put in as an explainer. And then publications. If you want to list the publication, who the title of the publication, the publisher, the date, and any kind of additional information. If this is a dissertation or a document or research you've published, you can put that in here. These are all, I'd say, extra. Be mindful of the length of your resume. Obviously very different by function. If you're a researcher, you probably want to put publications. If you're a designer, you may want to put projects. So definitely changes by function. Also, feel free to reuse these. If one of them's not really working for you, and you have a different kind of information you want to put, you can rename these sections while I'm here since it's relevant to all of them. If you come over to the design mode and go to sections, you can click this pencil and say, I just did volunteering. I don't want the leadership. So let's go ahead and save that. And if I go back over to my presentation and I go to my volunteering and leadership, let's go to that section and see here now it just says volunteering. So that's how you can rename the sections as well. So if there's something we're not exactly accounting for you, feel free to co-opt one of these sections. It doesn't affect your analysis. Again, it's us trying to bring as much structure to the data as possible, but if it's not working for you, feel free to modify it, hack it a little, and use it and just retitle the section in the best way that's most appropriate for you. All right, hopefully that helps. Think about these additional sections and how you can leverage them to best present your information the way you'd like to.